You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports 2. We're going to talk about Jim Harbaugh, and we're going to talk about Russell Wilson. We're going to talk about the Broncos. Of course, a subject, all three, is a subject we've talked about a lot on this channel. Full disclosure, guys, you know I'm a Michigan fan. I'm also a 49ers fan. Odd how that worked out, that I've kept Jim Harbaugh in my fandom all these years. I love Jim Harbaugh, okay? And sort of the dirty little secret among Niners fans is we love Jim Harbaugh, okay? Make no mistake. We realize Jed York, the owner, screwed that thing up in 49ers land. And if you put truth serum on Niners fans, they would take Jim Harbaugh every day of the week and twice on Sunday over Kyle Shanahan. And I like Kyle. I do. Okay? I mean, you can see a blatant step up from a Chip Kelly and a Jim Tomsula to a Kyle Shanahan. But Jim Harbaugh, different level. Even a different level. And do I think he's the type of guy that could come in and probably fix the Broncos? Yeah, I kind of do. He could probably come in and literally next year the Broncos would probably be 9-8. Truly. And it's just because he would rework the entire offense. And we got to remember there's a history here of Jim Harbaugh fixing a broke quarterback. Alex Smith, and people forget this, Alex Smith was an all-time bust. He was considered an all-time bust quarterback, okay? He was spoken with Jamarcus and Ryan Leaf and all these guys, okay? He wasn't quite as bad as those guys, but that's where he was spoken. Number 1 overall draft pick. His statistics were terrible. Now, a lot of that was on the 49ers with revolving door of coaches and offensive coordinators. But you get the point. Don't do that with Mac Jones, Bill Belichick. My God. So anyway, point being, Jim Harbaugh came in. He fixed Alex Smith. He turned Alex Smith into a good, competent, professional NFL quarterback that teams could win with. And that's exactly what he did. He took Alex Smith, and he went out there and started winning with Alex Smith. Then Alex Smith was traded to the Chiefs, and he kept winning with another good offensive coach in Andy Reid. Well, Russell Wilson is a broken-ass quarterback right now. He's broken. You need a QB guru to fix Russell Wilson. You need a Jim Harbaugh. You need a Sean Payton. For full disclosure, before we ever even get to this story, I don't believe Jim Harbaugh's taking this job. I don't, okay? Maybe he will. Maybe he will, but unfortunately for the Broncos, if Jim Harbaugh wants to come back to the NFL, his old team he played with is probably going to have a job open if they don't hire Jeff Saturday, and that's the Colts. Okay? I think Jim Harbaugh wants to take jobs where he's got a connection in some way previously, okay? So, Jim Harbaugh almost got that job with the Las Vegas Raiders. Very close, okay? He was a quarterback's coach there 2 years. But he played for the Colts. All right, let's look at this. The Broncos want them some Jim Harbaugh. And, of course, why wouldn't they? They reached out to Jim Harbaugh, and we don't know if it'll go anywhere. We'll see. Maybe, though, we're talking about Walmart money here, right? The owners of the Broncos are the owners of Walmart, which means their pocketbooks are essentially endless. Endless. I mean, they could give Jim Harbaugh a 5-year, $100 million deal. You know, they could do that. Jim Harbaugh has said he is done pursuing NFL jobs. I don't believe that. This doesn't mean that NFL jobs are done pursuing him. Per a source with knowledge of the situation, the Denver Broncos have reached out to Jim Harbaugh to inform him they have interest in talking to him about the vacancy that emerged 6 days ago with the firing of first-year head coach Nathaniel Hackett. The Broncos undoubtedly are looking for a proven commodity in lieu of a first-time head coach. Harbaugh has shown he can win football games at both the NFL level and at college. After interviewing for the Minnesota vacancy a year ago, Harbaugh said he is not entertaining future NFL openings, but he has spoken wistfully about winning a Super Bowl, and his buyout is a mere $3 million. Michigan is loaded for another run at a national championship, but there's only one place to compete for the Lombardi Trophy, and there's only so many opportunities to take those head coaching jobs. Yeah, so that's probably Florio, I'm sure. Yep, that is Florio. And in case you're wondering, 103-46 with Stanford and Michigan. I mean, still going 12-1 with Stanford is still the most impressive thing on his resume. And in case you're wondering, Niners 13-3, 11-4, 12-4, and then of course 8-8. Started having problems with Jed York, the ownership there, and the wheels started falling off. Jed York just wouldn't get the hell out of the way. So let's look at this, because Russell Wilson. Look, the last couple of weeks, Russell Wilson has flashed some competency again. Okay, he has. I mean, I don't want to act like he hasn't. But let's take a look at this. The Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos 27-24 in Week 17. Russell Wilson completed 26 of 38 passes for 222, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs looked like Taz from ECW yesterday by putting this suplex, boom. Let's look at it one more time. Oh, Taz, ECW with the suplex on Chris Jones, flexing on Russell Wilson. Do we believe that Russell Wilson cried after that suplex? I don't know. Yeah. Do I believe Jim Harbaugh could straighten Russell Wilson out? Yeah, I do. Because I think he would rein in the Broncos offense, and it would become heavy run game. And look, Alex Smith was more mobile than people remember, than people realize. He played for Urban Meyer up in Utah, okay? And Urban ran a spread read option kind of, college offense, and which required Alex Smith to run a little bit. Well, we know if Russell wants to, he can be mobile. What's going to happen, or what would happen, is he would come in, start getting those big offensive linemen and all that. Harbaugh would build it in the trenches, defensive line, offensive line. I think that's the way to do it, too. I'm here to tell you. Because you shorten the game, long drives, all this kind of thing. Keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands, right? If I was an ownership group, I would absolutely have Jim Harbaugh as my number one pick. I truly would. Yeah, him or Sean Payton. Let me preface that. That was a little. Sean Payton or Jim Harbaugh would probably be my two coaches at the top of the list. I am going to be shocked if Jerry Jones does not make the Sean Payton move. Okay? But here's the issue. We're starting to find out now. It's starting to become known now that Sean Payton really wanted to take a year off to recharge his batteries, and that there was always a very, very good chance he was just going back to the Saints. Okay. So we don't know for sure. I mean, it depends on who throws a ton of money at him, and I feel like if Jim Harbaugh is going to come back to the NFL, the most logical spot is the Colts, where he used to play. Okay. And I think it would take that, although money talks, money does talk, and guys love to make a shit ton of money. Could he take the Broncos job? Maybe. But I just think the Colts make more sense. For the record, don't want to lose him as the Michigan coach. I do not. Absolutely not. We're competitive now. We're competitive in the playoffs. And with the playoffs expanding to 12 games, I believe the way we look at college football is going to change. It's going to become a little bit more like the NFL, and you're going to start looking at coaches in terms of who can make it to the postseason consistently, and that will be the measure for coaches as soon as the playoffs expand. Okay, people are going to start doing 10 years later, Chris Peterson came back into coaching and he's been to the playoffs 5 of the last 10 years. That's how we're going to start looking at college football coaches. And I think Harbaugh is going to be one of them guys that can have Michigan in the playoffs every other year. So, once you get in, TCU just showed Michigan, once you get in, all bets are off. It's going to become like the NFL, and you're going to have outlier teams win national championships. Just the way it is. It's going to happen. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 supporters. Russell Wilson gets suplexed. The Broncos want them some Harbaugh. I mean, who could blame them? Peace. I'm out. Till next time, Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.